Cooper with the Canine Chronicle, bringing you Table Talk Live with a very busy man in Wayne Ferguson, the president of the Kennel Club of Philadelphia. Wayne, I can't imagine what you have been going through the last several days when you're trying to get the Kennel Club of Philadelphia dog show for November actually to go. And I think that it would be great for the fancy to kind of understand what steps you had to go through to get this to happen.
Well, first of all, Deb, thanks always for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about Kennel Club of Philadelphia, National Dog Show. It actually started, I guess, when COVID started back in February. We knew that we were going to have a problem. We knew perhaps that it would escalate, and sure enough, unfortunately, it did, and it's still escalating to some extent. The biggest hurdle we thought was going to be the state of Pennsylvania and the county of Montgomery. And indeed it was because of the restrictions. As you know, Pennsylvania has a quarantine, it's quarantining about 25 or 30 states. And that varies from Friday to Friday. They have a new list. Okay. So we were concerned about that. We knew that with the restrictions of 25 people for a gathering, that wasn't possible to have an indoor show. So we wanted to be an exception, and we met with the County of Montgomery people, the Board of Health, their commissioner, Dr. Arkush, who's a wonderful lady and very bright and astute. She pretty much steered us in the right direction with the health people. We met with them numerous times, about 10, 15 times probably. We drew up a proposal of sanitation and the logistics of the show. They were very impressed that we scaled it down the way we did to 400 dogs, because we normally have an entry of 2,000 at Philadelphia on Saturday and Sunday. So there will only be our shows on Saturday and Sunday. The sister clubs will not be doing their shows on Thursday and Friday because of the complications and the amount of money it takes to put something like this on. We'll only have 200 dogs a day. Our judging panel will be revised. The existing panel, because so many of them are from out of state and a lot of them are from the quarantine states, we've asked that they all return next year. And we will have a downsized panel of about 7 to 10 judges that are very local, that can just drive. And some of them are from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania, where there's no quarantine. We're very happy about that. They were impressed that our show hours were reduced. They'll be reduced from 8 o'clock to probably 4 o'clock because of the number of entries. When we ran from 6 in the morning until sometimes 9 o'clock at night on the old show. And they were pretty long days, but we loved it. The building is 245,000 square feet. It's a monster building, and it used to be an old Volkswagen parts building. So it was, it's built for size. And of course, when they gutted it, we're very happy with what they did to the interior, and we think the exhibitors like it as well. There's a lot of loading and outloading doors. So with that amount of space, we can have a lot of space per person, almost 10 to 15 square feet per person when it comes down to. We'll have morning sessions and afternoon sessions. The morning group will be 100 dogs on Saturday. The afternoon group will be 100 dogs on Saturday, and likewise on Sunday. We will have 4 groups on Saturday, 3 groups on Sunday with Best in Show. They were extremely happy with some of our sanitation proposals. For instance, we're going to have hand sanitizers and masks handed out at the door, just in case people forget them. We'll have about 20 hand washing machines throughout the building in each hall. We'll have security guards at all entrances so that people cannot come in casually. Although we'd love to have spectators, there will be no spectators at this show, unfortunately. And we take a big hit on that. That's usually about a $90,000 income that we have that we can put back into the dog fancy. As you know, we donate very, very heavily to a lot of foundations and organizations. There will be markers on the floor for grooming. The grooming, every individual will have their own social distancing. We can't allow any blow dryers, especially indoors. That would be really terrifically terrible to spread any disease if it was in there. The show will be conducted in accordance with the American Kennel Club best practices. We've already incorporated that into what will be the premium list. And trying to think of some other things. We don't have the date yet that it will open because we just got the final okay yesterday. And so we're still working through all of that. A big question that I think everyone's going to want to know, and a big question that I had right from the beginning when I knew we were going to limit it to 400 dogs, will we have a variety of dogs? And we're working through that right now. We have some great ideas on that, and I'm just not at liberty to discuss it. It's not a secret. It's just that there's about 5 or 6 different ways that we can do this. We think we'll have a very nice variety of dogs. The big thing, of course, is that we'll be under a microscope because it is the first televised show since COVID started. So we know there's going to be an awful lot of other clubs that are going to see how we're doing it. We want to set the right example as well.
And I believe it's champions only also, right?
Champions only. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for saying that. Yeah, we thought we'd limit it to champions only. And that seems to be going over very well with people that we talk to. Some of the other, I have some notes if you don't mind me turning away once in a while.
Please.
Thanks. So we will have antibacterial soap available in all the washing stations and the restrooms, of course. The HVAC filters, the air conditioning filters, will be changed twice a day. That's a major exception. We talked about the masks being handed out, Medcore, and we will have contactless food service, which we think will help. Basically, and the aisles will be 15 feet wide since we have so much space. As you know, it used to be benched, our show. We were only one of 3 existing bench shows. The Cow Palace in San Francisco, Westminster, of course, and Philadelphia. So with it not being benched this year, it gives us an enormous amount of room because the benches take up about a third of the building when you have 2,000 dogs. But if there's any questions you have, I would be more than happy to answer.
So we don't know about an opening date yet, and as soon as you know, you're going to let us know, and we're both going to let everybody know.
Sure.
And again, it's a 400 dog limit when it does open, and that opening date will be publicized well before it actually occurs, so everybody will have time to. I think the key is that we want fanciers to know that it is happening, so they don't make alternate plans if they were planning on joining you for the show in Philadelphia. So
yes,
it's critical to know. Again, let's talk about, in my opinion, this is one of the best opportunities for our fancy to reach out to the public because it's nationally televised. And the Kennel Club of Philadelphia is actually televised on Thanksgiving Day after the Macy's Day Parade, and that is the plan for this year as well, correct?
It will be. Yeah, the parade will be from 9 to noon, and then we say no football between noon and 2 o'clock.
There you go. It's
so
our football. It's our football. It's doggy football. There you go.
Deb, we had 28 people watch us last year. This will be our 19th year. And it just keeps going up every year. It's more of a tradition. And people just like dogs, thank goodness, because we dog people, of course, love them. And they walk on water as far as we're concerned. But in my travels, when I talk about the show and people find out my involvement, it's amazing how they light up. The National Dog Show, Wayne, I watch it every year. It's like it's an amazing thing. It's like talking about the circus to little kids sometimes.
No, it really is. I mean, people will say, when they say, "Oh, you're involved with dogs." Have you ever been to the National Dog Show that happens on Thanksgiving Day? I mean, absolutely. But that makes it a household name, and it's really good for the sport.
Yeah.
It really is. You would be surprised at the number of people that I have heard from in the last month as I'm serving as a show secretary for a show in Ohio for Crawford County, and the new exhibitors that have never shown before that are now interested in showing dogs, AKC.
Absolutely.
The Kennel Club of Philadelphia, the Beverly Hills Kennel Club, and all of these shows that are televised on TV help us, reach the public, right?
Yes, indeed.
We're just going to do it real safely this year, and kudos to you and the committee for working so hard to make it happen, and for continuing with the tradition. Lord knows we don't like to lose tradition, and fortunately we're not going to lose it again. Yes, it is scaled back. However, scaled back is better than not at all, right?
Boy, thank you for that. Absolutely. That's how we look at it. And, talking about people that are now coming into the sport, you probably know adoptions went through the roof, and they still are, because people are still quarantining themselves and they're staying at home more. And so a cat or a dog is a perfect addition when you're housebound. That's for darn sure. But also they're buying more purebred dogs at the same time as adoptions. So when you see the National Dog Show or Westminster or Beverly Hills, we're educating them on how we do it. I remember when I started back in 1966, I went to my first mat show with a St. Bernard. No one knew what I was doing on weekends. They would just say, what do you do with these dog shows? And then, of course, I had Cherrybrook for all those years, and I was behind in a tent with my dogs. But now it seems like when I go out and talk to people at cocktail parties or visiting, people know about what the groups are. They know that they don't know we have 7 groups necessarily, but they know that the show is broken into groups, and we have a best in show, a reserve best in show. They now understand things that, because I think we're educating with television.
Right. Exactly.
We estimated, somebody estimated in Kennel Club of Philadelphia that 250 million people have watched the National Dog Show in the last 18 years.
How neat is that, right?
That's with a B.
Mm-hmm. And that, again, it's I always label it an institution within the sport, which it is. So
yes.
It's terrific.
Thank you.
And again, I thank you and your committee for all the hard work that you've done to try to make it happen.
Thanks,
and it is happening, and keeping us informed so we can make sure everybody knows, when they can enter, how they can enter. Again, MBF is your superintendent, correct?
It is. Yes, indeed, it is.
So they will be able to enter on the InfoDog website once the show opens, and you will let us know, and we will post something on the Canine Chronicle website, and I will, write something in my column, warning people that the opening date is coming.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Deb.
I really appreciate your spending time on that. Real quick, we missed another really important dog show this year, one that we wait for and only see once every 5 years.
That's my other baby. I wear 2 hats. One is Morris and Essex, and of course the other is.
So Morris and Essex will be in 2021.
We will. We were so ready, Deb, just like we're ready for this one. And of course, when COVID happened, we didn't want to lose the luster and tradition that Morris and Essex had.
Right.
We may have pulled it off because it's an outdoor show, but these people that come by the thousands, and they're dressed in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. I'm sorry, 30s, 40s, 50s, and we wanted to keep all that alive. And we just didn't think with what was going on, people would be as comfortable. And as you know, we get almost 5,000 entries at that show. We were afraid of overcrowding as well. But we're set for October 5th, by the way. It'll be a Wednesday instead of Thursday next
Okay.
year, October 5th of 2021.
Great. Well, I look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks.
Wayne, thank you so much for your time.
My
And
pleasure.
again, everyone, we will keep you updated on when the entries open. So you have plenty of time to enter when the judging panel is available. We again will let you know so you can, make your decisions accordingly. And Wayne, thank you so much. Everyone, until next time.